Now when I first started playing Concord, I said, man, this game is some buns. Then I played it some more, actually a lot more. And I said, you know what? This game actually isn't the worst thing I've ever played. But I don't think that matters, because this game will be dead on arrival. The worst thing you can be is forgettable. And that's exactly what this game is. It's not amazing, but it's also not bad. It's just okay. So let's get into it. This game explains nothing, first of all. And that's why, when I first started the game, I thought it sucked. I wanted to turn it off almost immediately. But after about maybe 2 hours or so, which is a long time, and may I add also, it was 2 hours with friends, a full-on 5-man team, I said, you know what? This game isn't half bad. I got used to health not regenerating, which was a big shock at first to get used to. But I got accustomed to the maps and where the healing items were. I got used to the movement speed. I found the characters I meshed well with. But this game is just kind of generic. It's well made, sure, and there's definitely a budget behind it. The character designs and models are really well made, but the maps are lifeless. There's no wow factor to this game. There's nothing that makes it stand out. This game's unique selling point is that it has cutscenes. Before I get into the biggest flaw of this, let me say this. This is such a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff that it's shameless. But the biggest problem is that this game is not fun to play without friends. So, if your friends are online, waiting to queue up, and you say, hold up, I'm joining, but let me watch this 3-minute long cutscene first. Your ass is gonna get cooked, man. We're starting without you. Like, I'm boosting the game up, and I'm skipping this every time. I don't care about these Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff characters. I want to just get into the game. How is this your only unique selling point? I can't imagine these cutscenes are cheap to make production-wise. They seem extremely well made, but I'm holding circle every time these come up. Let's get into another point. I'm very much so anti-skill-based matchmaking. I think it ruined the modern Call of Duty games. I think if you remove skill-based matchmaking, then you're gonna get a mixed bag. Sometimes you get cooked, sometimes you're gonna do the cooking. But it's gonna make it so you're not fighting for your life every game, and make it so you're not winning every game to a point where it gets boring. That was my thought. But apparently not. I played 56 games and won 52 of them. Every game was a breeze. To a point where I was winning so much that it got boring. It just wasn't fun anymore. I'm just steamrolling teams. We're just winning every single time. Not only that, but this game has a huge quitting problem. At least a fourth of my games, everyone quit. If not a third or more. But what else do I like about this game? The dodging in third person is so often awkward. I have no reason for why it's like this. Maybe so you can see cosmetics when you buy them. But so far from what we've seen from the progression that was at least here in the beta, it doesn't look like it's gonna be good. All I've unlocked is different clothes for my character. Like, my dress was black and now I have a green version of it. Or here's a weapon charm that sucks. Or here's another weapon charm that sucks. And maybe they could be holding off for the premium store or a battle pass or something. But so far what we've seen isn't a good sign. The movement is just kind of slow overall for a majority of the characters. Some have good movement speed and flying abilities and you're agile, but others are just way too slow. Even if it's for balance reasons, that this is a tank character, it's just too slow. People say they like the way the UI looks with this retro design, but as UI, I think it sucks. I don't think it's clear to understand. I see people don't like the time to kill. Surprisingly, I actually don't think it's that bad. I just think some of the characters and some of the weapons just suck. But the characters do feel unique from one another and have some cool, unique abilities. Some that I haven't even seen in other games. I really don't care about the, oh, pronouns and DEI and this character's fat and that character's black and that's why the game is gonna fail. And the same people will complain about DEI and then they're turning around and saying there's no white characters in the game. And it's like, whoa, oh, so you do think representation matters, huh? So I don't care about all that noise surrounding the game. Gameplay wise, this feels more like Destiny than Overwatch, which is a good thing because Overwatch doesn't play very well. But I can't say getting kills in this game is the most satisfying thing in the world. It just lacks a certain punch. Maybe there's just a lack in the sound design or visually. It's just lacking something that would give it that extra oomph, some extra impact. But overall, this game just seems to kind of exist. And soon I feel like people will forget that it even exists. Joining the group of foamstars and destruction all stars. This is Guardians of the Galaxy stars. Like, there's no hype or anticipation behind it. It has that anti-woke mob preying on its downfall. It costs money up front while most of its competitors are free to play, meaning that PS Plus is a requirement to play this game. So if you don't have that already, that's another $80. It's not on Xbox, so there's gonna be a smaller player base. The concurrent players on Steam isn't a good sign. I think even if you make this game free to play day one on PS Plus, that it will still struggle. I mean, we've seen Destruction All-Stars and Foamstars being free on PS Plus could not save them. This game simply does not do enough to pull away people from the other lifestyle games it's competing with, such as Destiny, Overwatch, Apex, Fortnite, the finals, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege. Like, it's not gonna do anything to pull those player bases away. It's just a reminder of, why didn't you finish Factions 2? That was the one game we were working on that was unique, that we've heard played well. You say deep into development, you realized you needed to support the game post-launch, and that would take away from single-player games. Firstly, why did you not know that to begin with? And secondly, just release it. Not everything has to have a 10-year plan. People still play Factions 1 to this day with no updates. But man, when it comes to Concord, just like the aeroplane, this isn't going to be around for very long.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. It has been quite a day. We'll get to the Middle East peace talks and the running mate for Governor Bush, but for the first time in more than 30 years in its history, a Concorde has crashed, and that's where we start. It was an Air France Concorde chartered by a German tour company. It had just taken off from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris when something cataclysmic happened in at least one of the four engines. In this picture, you can see a long stream of smoke and fire as the pilot struggled to gain altitude. He failed. And when the plane crashed in the grounds of a small rural hotel in Gonesse, just outside Paris, 100 passengers, mostly German, 1 American, 9 crew, all French, and 4 people on the ground were killed.